Hello, hello. Welcome. We are back at it again with our old tricks, our old ways. Today we have special guest Chase 7 in the building.
I'm back.
Yes. I don't know which order we're going to be releasing our podcast because there was a little complication last week. But we do have 7 podcasts. You are Chase 7 after all. So we could release it as the 7th. If you want that,
You kind of have to.
Okay,
Yeah.
but we also don't know if we have all 7 of those available.
But
to
also
us.
that first one.
That was so good. So
yeah, that should be the first one.
So the first one should be the first one. Second one should actually be this one. We're figuring it out.
Yeah, whatever.
So, yeah, a lot of things happened in the last few weeks, so we're on it, and we are figuring out a way for you guys to get the content. Yeah. So, Chase, I guess you did kind of cover it in the first episode, but where are you from?
I'm from Baltimore. About an hour from where we are now. Not that that's relevant.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Let everyone know the address of where we're at.
1-4.
Okay. Wait. All right. We're taking away your privileges.
Oops.
Yeah.
Taking away my mic.
Yeah. Drop the mic. Hands up.
I would, but this looks expensive.
I mean, it's fairly. Yeah, it's a Blue Spark. That's like kind of the first mic that if you want to get into recording and get a good quality sound, you can. It's pretty good. I think you can make something great out of that.
The first mic I ever had was a Blue Snowball.
Snowball.
Yeah, have you seen it?
I haven't seen your mic.
I mean, like the Blue Snowball in general.
It sounds pretty self-explanatory.
It
it's
does
a round.
look like a snowball, yeah.
Okay, it sounds round.
Yeah.
Is it blue?
No, it is white.
Okay,
like a snowball tends to be.
See, this is a blue mic, but it's orange. So a lot of things.
I really hate that. It says blue on it, and it's just not.
They make black ones too.
They need to get their shit together.
Yeah.
Act together. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, there goes the funding. There goes all the sponsors. No. We're doing this for free now. Katniss, I'm sorry you're not going to be able to eat anymore.
Aw, poor girl.
We're gonna have to cut down on the grub. Oh. Oh, actually, everything is falling apart. So, yeah. What? Yeah. So, what is this? The Blue Snowball. What is it? How much did it run you?
God, it was like $30. It was
really.
It's like really cheap.
USB.
Yeah.
You plug it in. Yeah, those old-fashioned USB ones.
Yeah, I did record a demo using it, which then won a contest though. So
shoot!
So that's cool.
What kind of contest?
It was for a podcast called Prompt Me Podcast, where they give you a prompt and you have to do something based on it. So they gave it was a band I really like called Late Night Alumni. They gave a prompt, the word roundabout. So I wrote a song called Roundabout, recorded the little demo. This was in the right after lockdown started, and I was like going crazy in my room. So made this little demo and it won. So that's
so
cool.
The contest was make the best song for the podcast.
No, the contest was make anything based on their prompt. So it could be like a drawing, a like just really anything at all, like a short story. But yeah. So of course I did a song.
Oh, okay. So do you know who your competition was, or were you the only one that submitted?
There were other people who submitted, but I was the only one that did a song. So
it's easier for people to like a song than just like a random picture.
Yeah.
So I think that's super dope.
Yeah.
That just goes to show it doesn't really matter what type of equipment you're using. You can still destroy people with a microphone.
Well, I don't think the quality of the recording was that great, but like with a USB mic, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
But the demo turned out cute. So.
Did you also do the instrumentation for it, or was it just a cappella?
I found a beat somewhere. YouTube, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Got that YouTube beat. Is that a type beat or something?
I don't remember. I remember it took me like 3 hours to find one that really fit the vibe I was going for.
What like made you realize that was the one?
it just felt right. It just clicked with the lyrics that I had written and the melody that I already had. So like I basically had the song finished except for the beat already. So
Okay. So what was the winnings for the
just
podcast?
a package of merch
Bubblegum.
from the oh god. It was a package of merch, like a tote bag, a t-shirt, and something else I don't remember.
Is it like the first contest you ever won?
Yeah, I can't think of any other contest I've won.
Yeah.
Especially for music, yeah.
I feel like.
Oh, I did win the talent show in 5th grade
Oh shoot!
performing a song.
Wow. What song?
Oh God, do you remember 100 Years by Five for Fighting?
I don't
I'm
know.
15 for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20 and
Keep going. Yeah, I love that song.
You don't know it.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah. She was 16 and
There's still time for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
such a good song.
Yeah. I don't know why I chose to do that one, but I won the talent show, so that's cool.
That is really cool. I did not have any sort of confidence at 5th grade to put myself out there.
Oh, me neither. I was shaking the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
just the mic and everything.
I performed the guitar at the same time. that I was
Whoa.
singing.
That takes a lot of coordination.
Oh God, yeah, it was really difficult. I couldn't do the constant strumming. I just did each chord.
One note?
And yeah.
Dun,
Yeah.
16. Dun. You pause.
Basically, yeah.
Like in between the strum. Yeah, because I think even I took guitar lessons and it was very revealing that it was harder than it looked.
Yeah.
And I took it for 2 months. I went to the Guitar Center and paid this guy to teach me. He showed me some of the drills, scales, and I practiced like every day. I wanted to get really good. I learned a Spanish song. I would learn songs. That's like the best way to learn. And
Do you remember the first one you learned?
it was like the Spanish romance song.
Well, what about your guitar? Let's hear it.
I still know it too. I could actually play it, but
Do you have a guitar?
I have two.
Oh, really? Where are they? They're not on display, are they?
Yeah, they're in the studio.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
must
I have
just
them there
looked
really
over.
just to make myself look like a well-rounded artist.
That's important.
Yeah, because it looks like sell everything. Yeah, I was thinking about just like buying some multi-platinum plaques, like for the wall, so that way when I'm like live streaming or something, like people would.
Well,
think,
you've got 10 million streams on a track. On
that is true.
Spotify,
That is true.
yeah.
So it would be official. I just need to
Yeah.
like get the plaque.
Yeah.
I need to knock on their door loud enough.
But then your name wouldn't be on the plaque. It would be like.
Yeah, but at least it could, be the proof. People are kind of like they like that's kind of like how people can make careers, is like having the image that they're these huge artists. They've worked with so many people, and then more and more people are willing to work with them because they're like, oh, you have the credit. You worked with this artist, so it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, I need to work with you. And I think having some of those credits instantly jumps your credibility and your like weight in the industry. And it is kind of like a superficial thing, but it does matter just to have one or two really big credits. And the fact that I got this recent song that I found out, I think will really jumpstart things in that direction. Just for like an outside someone coming to me and being like, I need you to make a song like that.
Yeah,
Or-
you have got a little work to do though to get your credit on that.
Yeah, that's true. There's gonna be some battles, lawyer battles, but I'm gonna figure all of that out, and I think it'll work out. But maybe you guys will finally hear of it in 8 years.
Yeah, right.
When the case is done, you guys.
Yeah,
will
I want to
finally-
like tell the story right now on the podcast, but it's probably not the best idea.
I don't know honestly, because I don't know what the whole legality thing is. It's better to keep all the details
Definitely.
under wraps before things really start unraveling. So it'll be interesting how it goes. But I have all the everything.
Yeah,
Where
you got all the proof you need.
all
Yeah.
dates, everything. So
Emails, yeah.
yeah, emails, project files. So it shouldn't be that hard. I consider myself now. I walk around with a little bit of a swing. Now it's because I'm a
Oh, okay.
multi platinum.
I noticed you walking earlier. It looked like you were gonna fall over.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like I'm always like I'm leaning. It's like it's a lean.
Okay.
It's like
It's just the weight of all the streams, like, weighing you down.
Yeah, it's on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, the streams. Yeah, and then the fans that don't know that they're my fans.
Yeah,
So I'll
right.
like look it up on Reddit, and that's just kind of
Oh, God.
propelling me to my next step. Every nice thing that people say, that's the building blocks of my existence right now. I'm a very fragile man. it's not looking too good for me, but
Oh, God.
yeah. But at least we got Katniss that's keeping us together pretty much.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't know what
She
I'm
just
doing.
wants to be a part of everything.
Yeah, she actually is just making sure we're gonna have enough money to buy her food for the next time she's hungry,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she's weird about that kind of thing.
Food?
Yeah, like she'll like hound me to like go to work and like do stuff that actually is gonna make money.
Yeah, whenever you're sad and depressed, you see her and you're like, I have to do this for her.
Oh no, she forces me.
Oh.
Yeah. Right now, she's threatening me. So, like, you don't know that. I shouldn't have said that because she's gonna definitely
I can
discipline
kind
me
of get
later.
the vibe. She's like facing away from you.
Yeah, right
She's
now
like,
she can't even look at me.
Yeah, she can't even look at you. She's like,
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it from her later on, and it is what it is now. But I did want to talk about kind of like everyone is going through their own struggle. My struggle with Katniss, your struggle with your microphone.
Yeah.
But but I think that like in a lot of ways when we view the music industry, we see the glamour of what we want in our lives, and it's a very showboaty type of industry, and we forget that there are so many things that it took to get to those places, to get to that point. And it's like I think we compare ourselves to where we're at, and we look at where like our favorite artist is, and we just think, oh, they got that one break that really made them, and they had, like, we don't really see the work that went into it. So like I kind of want to kind of discuss somewhat of the trials and tribulations, or just like things that we go through on a day-to-day basis as creatives, to either find inspiration or like figure out our next move, because it's just such an unknown territory for every artist. It's like each person looks like they have it figured out, but it's like every day we're having to figure out what that next thing to propel us to that point that we're trying to get to is going to be. So yeah, I'm very curious of like how you handle figuring out what your next move is. As an artist who's been in the industry, professionally for 7 years.
I mean, I can't act like I have it all figured out,
right?
Because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm doing at all at this point, to be honest. I'm just doing what feels right, and my focus has been on making good music, making quality music, because I want to feel like I have a good library before I even jump into putting stuff out, and promotion, marketing, shopping things out to labels or playlists. I've done a lot of research into it, but I haven't taken the jump yet.
Yeah, it's like you're getting all the ammo before actually getting ready for the shooting. All the like campaigns that you're going to be putting all your energy, money, and time into to really promote what you've been working on, who you are as an artist. Because that does take, there's so much more that goes into being an artist than just like making the music. And it's like there's so much like even in the promoting, you think it's just like a few posts, but it's like really you got to do like 20 posts a week. You got to really make sure you're in front of everybody, and the algorithms are so random, you don't know what's going to actually blow. So you might as well just post. You can even post the same thing in different ways 20 different times. One of them is going to hit, and then your song is actually going to get that traffic it needs, instead of you putting all this time and work into making that song and then posting one or two, and you only got like a few hundred views, and then you're kind of disappointed and discouraged, and you're like, oh, just wait till my next project. Like this is going to be the big one. But it really is, maybe you just didn't promote it properly. You just needed either the right backing, and you could actually be surprised by reaching out to certain people how willing they are to put your music in their content. And you just have to kind of be humble in a way where everyone, you're offering someone your music. In return, they can plug you, is it in the description or something. You can go to vloggers, you can go to lifestyle, and any sort of like a video form where they need music behind it, and say, hey, I make this kind of music. If you guys are looking for this, I'd really love for you to put it in your next whatever podcast, next vlog, and then you can say, just credit me at this if you use it. And you can honestly, if you just send those messages out to like 100 creators, you might get one or two that actually end up giving you that boost.
Yeah, that's all you need in some cases.
Yeah, so it's like, it's so easy to get discouraged with the not knowing your next move, but I think it's also about like experimenting to see what is going to work, because that's kind of like what we are. We're like these we're kind of crazy in a sense. Like we're these mad scientists who think that like we're creating something out of nothing pretty much. Then we're trying to scarf it down people's throats to like be like, hey, this is, you should like this. But like, how do you do that in a tasteful way that isn't so like it's just got this subtle way of getting people to actually listen to you, like over so many other artists. Like what makes you stand out in this market, in this day and age, for them to actually want to pick you over their favorite artist?
Was that a question?
It's kind of like an open thing. Like if you have any thoughts about that.
I don't know. I think the way you discover an artist is often important as to how you view them. Like if it just randomly pops up on a playlist you like, or if you see a blog post about them. But I don't really know the avenue that I want to take yet. That like I just feel like there's so many options, so many opportunities. It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I could see that.
For anyone listening, right before we started recording here, I was looking through all of Raivis's older music, and we came across an EP which you had made private. I just wanted to ask, how important do you think that is, that everything you have up like matches exactly what you're going for at the moment? Like
I've like debated with myself a lot with what songs I should make public, what I should release. And I think
me too. Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it's so hard to know like which song actually will resonate with people, what they think that is what defines you as an artist. It's like, but maybe it's the most popular song. Maybe like that's why I personally love making so many different types of music, that I love sharing each part of myself in that way. And it can be really hard because that EP, I made 5 songs. That was one of the first projects that I was like, you know what, let me really just get a project together, get my act together, get labels behind it, really push myself that way. And I realized pretty quickly that it's not as easy as I thought. Plus, they didn't have TikTok or any like of those social media back then. That I didn't really know how to promote it. You know, I didn't try actually. Maybe if I really did try and I understood the importance of that, I would have had more motivation to actually keep it up. But when I especially when you're starting out as an artist, if you're not getting that instant gratification that people like your stuff, you start questioning whether or not you're good enough. And that's kind of where I was at. I was thinking, oh, this is like people, my friends would say, oh, this just sounds like you're trying to sound like this artist rather than me actually representing myself. And it made me really think that I was like, yeah, I kind of, that is exactly what I did with this song. Like all the 5 songs on the EP, that these were just what I thought people liked instead of what I really liked. It's like I still liked what I was doing, but it just didn't. I felt like it didn't really come from the right place, and so that's why I took it down. And I think that that's important. Is like, one, having that story of like I started from here, and you see the development as my sound progressed and my vision and how my ideas became more and more clear of like how I can represent myself. But then there are those songs that I feel like I'm shy and don't want people to see, but I need to embrace it. And I actually am really thankful that you got me thinking about that again. And I was like, you know what, you're right. It doesn't matter that I made this 6 years ago. I should just have this up because it does tell a story about where I came from. And honestly, listening back to it, it actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I noticed that a lot. Songs of mine, I'll think, oh, this isn't that great, so I'll just forget about it and come back months, years later, and I'm like, whoa, okay, this is actually pretty good. So I don't know. I think we listen to our own material a lot, and it can like it starts to sound different, and but then when you hear it with a fresh ear again, and those feelings that you had developed for it before are gone. You realize, oh, this is actually pretty good. So
I think we get in our way of our own progression a lot. Like, I think that's the biggest battle that we face, is just the battle within ourselves. And I think that being patient and realizing that it's, even if you were to make it whatever, make it big, be known, whatever that version of making it is, your life or how you think about yourself shouldn't really change. You know, you should really have that strong feeling that like you're doing this for a reason. And once, let's say, people actually give you that credibility, then it just allows you more freedom. It shouldn't really control how much different you think about yourself. So I think we get kind of carried away with that, though. We get carried away with the pressure of like, oh, people need to receive me this way. And that can be real too, because, you know, some of those people are in the labels, or some of your biggest fans they pay you pretty much to do what you do. So you do want to kind of please like those people. But I think even as we see artists that are some of my favorite artists, Louis the Child, Skrillex, like they really just say, you know what, I'm going to take what people think of me and I'm going to make something that what resonates with me right now. And then you get this whole different feeling when you listen to their music, because it's like, whoa, this is completely, Diplo does it too. He had like this whole ambient album.
And he did a country album.
And it's like, whoa, where are these vibes coming from? But you realize that people, like artists, have so much depth to it that like we're trying so hard to put everyone in a box so that way we can package it and make it easy for people to digest. But people are just so complex, and artists are like, you've got to be able to, I think, also just understand that artists have so many different dimensions, and I love that people are sharing that.
I think when you've established yourself, when you've already made a name for yourself, that gives you sort of more of a freedom to experiment. And but when you're just starting out, like most of these artists will have their own distinct sound, and they'll sort of stick to that. When as they're building their fan base, as they're building their career. So I've personally always felt like I needed to find my own sound and stick with that, and I can experiment later on once I've sort of made a name for myself.
I could see that route. And I think I've done that. I do that too when I think about what songs I'm going to release next. But I'm also seeing it from the side where those fans of yours, those real fans, are going to love whatever you do, whatever you're putting out there. If you decide to go in a country vibe, it's going to still, like, they're going to be like, oh, and he tried something different. That's awesome. Like, they'll still like you. And, like, those fans that, because it's like, imagine you're spending all this time getting all these fans for a certain type of sound, and then you decide to change it a year later. You think all those fans are going to just follow you and you'd be like, oh, you know what? We were fans of that work, but now they're going to start complaining. They're going to be like, oh, that's, I miss it when, the old Kanye. I miss the old
that
blah,
happens
blah.
all the time.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, then they really weren't fans of you as an artist. They were just fans of those songs. So it's like one thing, it's like, I think the core fan base is what's the most important. Not the people who just like certain songs and just like that. Those maybe aren't really your fans. So the fact that if you were to just keep changing as in, like, pushing different types of music that you actually believe in, you really will create a core fan base no matter how long it takes. Like, it might take a little longer because you're not focused on one specific niche sound, so then you're not attracting a huge amount of people, and that's all it is like a numbers thing. But if you really worked on your own thing and really love what you did, you're still going to find those like one or two gem fans that just love everything that you do. And you might get two if you did, every single song the same, and you might get two or three that actually are that way, that are just like, oh, I love how he writes, I love how the image and all that. But then there's going to be majority of the people, oh, I just love that one song that he had, or this, I think having that dimension is what creates the longevity in your career.
Yeah. But I do think it's harder to hook people and get those actual real fans, if the sound of what you're putting out is not consistent in the beginning.
Yeah, maybe you're right, and I'm still working that out as well. So I don't know what exactly will work for me, because I have so many different genres that I love doing. And I would love for everyone to hear all of those different aspects of me. So it's hard to know which ones to release. But I think that I just got to release.
Well, the question I was trying to ask is, when will you feel like you've made it? You have achieved the level of success that you're striving for. Like, do you have a specific goal post that you're trying to reach?
Yeah, I think that I reached it 2 years ago. The first time I felt it was when I was getting paid purely off of music and creating my own schedule, and then figuring out the next month. And then because it was kind of a question to me. I was like, how am I going to sustain this? Where's the income coming from next month and the next month? And then somehow I just kept on. I did that for 2 years, where that first year was me trying to figure it out. It was when COVID happened. And I didn't know how to actually like navigate my business. So I just started reaching out to all of my artists that I was doing free music for, and just being like, hey, I can't afford to keep doing this for free. Mind if I charge you $300? Like, is that fair? And they all said yeah. And so that was my first realization that I was undervaluing myself, and they were all just happy to pay me what I asked. So then I just kept on asking for more money. And I just increased my value, so it went from $300 to $1,300 in a year. and then that made it so I only had to get 2 clients. So I was getting 4 clients a month at one point to try to pay my bills, and then I would come down to only needing one or two to three, 2 clients. And then there was times where I was getting 1 client who would buy 5 songs, and then I'd be making $7,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Not every month, but there'll be months that make more money than others. So that's when I realized, I was like, this is really working. I'm paying my bills, and I'm doing this full time, and I'm figuring it out as I'm going every single month.
Yeah, I guess being a producer, I can see why your idea of it would be different from mine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
I want to do a tour of the country in small venues, and it just have enough of I want a cult following. That's what I want.
Okay.
I don't care about being big, like being on the charts or winning Grammys. That would be nice, but I want to know that I can make a living making music, and that whatever I put out will be heard and truly appreciated. Because for me, I like we brought this up in the previous podcast. Like for me, it really is about the music, and that may be a weakness of mine. But but if so, that's a weakness I'm going to embrace.
Yes.
Because I'm. That's how I want it to be. That's how I wish it was for everyone, and But yeah, so for me, I want a small following enough that I can tour the country every so often in small, intimate venues.
Cool. That's a good place to start. I think that your sound is definitely there, and I think there's also a part of it where when we want to perform and without a fan base, it's almost like maybe I see it kind of as an ego thing, because we want to be seen as an artist who's performing rather than like actually have songs that are like have a lot of streams on it. So I always have I did go through the whole performance side of things, where I wanted to push my music, but no one knew me. So it's like I didn't have a fan base. So everyone there like had to decide whether or not that they wanted to be my fan, like were my fans, and some of them were, but I don't think I actually gained as many followers or fans through that than actually releasing the music and working on my promotion online. And I do think it's all about, like, it really is about the music and the sound. And I think that's why I've been able to be successful. But I also know that it's not guaranteed every month, and that I'm working really hard every single day to try to like either push my sound, figure out what steps I need to take that are, because it's the market shifting, the recession is happening. So like everyone isn't just throwing money at projects anymore. So I know artists are hurting. I know I'm hurting. So like I'm shifting, with different ways of promoting, with like now podcasting and trying to bring people together through my masterclass, like giving people a platform where people can consume how to produce without me actually giving one-on-one lessons, because I'm doing, I've got 3 or 4 students now, and I realized that, if I just had a place where people could go, it actually could open up the possibilities. So there's so many different ways to be known than it is just being a certain place and spend those amount of hours at that exact specific place to get fans. So I think that there are a lot of different ways of going about it. And
well, I don't really feel like you gain fans from live shows, because nobody's going to come to your show if they don't know who you are. Or, well, very few people, the people who are being dragged by their friends who do know who you are. But, yeah, I think you need to establish a fan base before you start doing shows. Definitely before you do any type of tour. Yeah.
You at a Starbucks, just like, all right, so thank you guys for coming by.
Thank you guys for coming out tonight. It's one guy in the corner sipping a coffee.
His name's Larry, and he's just got like his headphones in. It's just like can't even hear anything. And you're just like looking longingly over there in the corner to see if he's paying attention, and you see him like kind of give a chuckle, and you think that it's because he actually liked what you were saying, but it really
man.
Was
Oh
it?
man, wow! I felt that. I just put myself there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, the smell, the coffee beans.
And Larry.
Yeah, and Larry. Yeah. But I mean, we all have to start somewhere, and I actually that's kind of how um, I got familiar with performing was one through the competition that I won, the Battle of the Bands at Hard Rock Cafe, that gave me the opportunity to perform at Light City, which it went from 50 people to 100 people, and then we had an opportunity at Artscape, which was going to be 10,000 people. And so we had like a whole skit, everything, an hour worth of content, like hour worth of music, shirts, a table, stickers, merch, all
Oh,
sorts of stuff. We actually did that at Light City, and we sold a good amount too. We had like
who
15
is
people.
we?
Me and Brett, Brett Sears.
Were you on a project together?
Yeah, so he was part of, we were part of the same group called Casual Encounter,
Okay.
and yeah, I actually met him on Craigslist. He met me like I put an ad out. He responded, then he came. I
Ad
had
out for what? Like,
an ad out for I was looking for a Sia sounding artist. That's what the ad said. I actually
interesting.
wanted a female for this song that I produced, and he came by with his fedora and tank top with like short shorts with like tropical, uh, you know, sh-
That sounds
things on it.
horrendous.
Yeah, straw hat, straw fedora vibes, and then I showed him the song.
I would have opened the door and then closed the door.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, I guess let me see. I was trying to think of whether or not like it was a painter or like I'm sorry, but we don't need our air ducts cleaned or something
Oh
like.
yeah, no, we're all good.
Yeah,
We're all good. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
But no, he came in and we realized really quickly we're on the same page. He sounded like Justin Timberlake. He had that kind of vibe, and showed him the song. I pretty much punch him in. He's got the headphones in, press record, and he just records something in 15 minutes, like really quickly, and that became the song "Keep on Fighting" that we released, and got it played at the Nat Stadium, and for their eighth inning, like motivational song that they would play for people. Just keep on fighting. Dun, 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 dun,
Nice.
dun, dun, dun. It was really cool, and we actually got that opportunity from going door to door to the clubs and kind of harassing the DJs and be like, "Hey, here's our song that we just released. Could we please put this in your mix?" And we thought they would play it then, and of course they're not going to. They didn't even hear the music, but they took the flash drive. I got his email. I got everyone's emails. I followed up with them. Hey, what'd you think of the song? Really like for you guys to play it. And Chris Styles was the name of the DJ who was at 18th Street Lounge at that night, and he ended up listening to the song and he really liked it. He said, "Oh, I could play it in my set, and I'm the music director of the Nat Stadium."
Nice.
So I was like, "Whoa, that's sick!" The song hadn't even been out. Like we were about to promote it. Like,
That's great.
and so that was our first taste of like getting the music out there. So then I was like, okay, what are different ways that I could promote this as an artist? And so we started performing, and I went to the certain clubs and I asked them what it took to actually perform live there. And because they would be some clubs that would have like Young Thug. They had Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan at Tropicalia, and so they had some pretty big artists going there. And so I became friends with the security, and I would just go there every weekend and never asked anything of them, just kind of vibed out and told them what I was working on. And then I did mention, I was like, I'm trying to create a release party for my EP that I'm releasing with Brett for Casual Encounter. I was like, how could I bring up an event to the owner or something like that? I could throw an event of all these underground artists that we could perform at his venue, and it would give him a good publicity that he was showcasing artists that were in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And so he gave me the Pablo. Shout out to Pablo. Head of security. Ended up working for him later on, actually, at Tropicalia. Really good dude.
Wow.
Invest in alkaline water. Okay.
Alkaline water.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
what he tells me. He's like, alkaline, dude. Alkaline water is gonna be huge.
Marketing scheme.
That was 2 years ago.
Oh, well, I mean, it is kind of big now. You can find it at the gas station now.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. But I should listen. But anyway, Pablo gave me the number, the owner's number, and so I told him that I could put together a showcase of all these underground artists. He said, "Okay, you want to do Wednesday?" And I was like, "Next Wednesday?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." I just like jumped on the opportunity, even though I had no artist in line. It was just me. Didn't have a DJ. Didn't have an MC. I was just gonna figure it out. And so I just reached. I was like, "Thank you," and I just hustled, and I got a DJ together. I actually got 11 artists in a week that actually showed up. That's the crazy part. I probably reached out to like 15 or so. 11 of them showed up. The DJ didn't show up, so I had to find a backup DJ. While I was heading to the actual place, I've ran into Kevin. Shout out Kevin. Who he just happened to be done with his night. I was like, dude, I'll pay you $80 just to work for 3 hours or 3 or 4 hours at DJing, because he's a DJ. Ended up coming through. The MC was the front desk guy. Shout out to Cordell.
Wow.
And so he had some songs too, and we just had a blast. It was so cool because the energy was so genuine. We had like 40 people all coming. I made the banners, like all the what's it called?
Flyers?
The flyers. Yeah, the flyers.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came together, and we did that 3 nights. We did that 3 different nights.
In a row, or
no, different, like
okay.
every week, every other week.
Okay.
We did it 3 other weeks, and it was just such a learning lesson to like really work on that networking aspect of it, of like trying to push your own, like, hey, I want to be a performer, but I need it to like not just serve me. I need it to feel like I'm really trying to bring everyone. It can't be my own selfish needs at this point, like, because I'm unknown. I can't, like, how else am I going to bring people together? By getting a whole bunch of performers together, and then them having their fan base, or people just wanting to see who's the up and coming guy coming. I'm not kidding. We had some executives. We actually got approached on the first night that we performed from someone who said that they could get us to start pitch one of our songs to like one of those big artists. Like I'm not gonna say their name, but a big artist. And I thought it was a scam because I thought he was trying to steal our song. So like, but the thing is, there are those opportunities, and you're gonna get approached.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up releasing that song anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like trying to find, like, just really figure out what is going to work, and it's going to be different for every artist. So I think just experiment and try so many different things.
Yeah.
Is the key.
That is a great story. That's wild.
Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot happened in that year, and I got out of my stage fright. I probably have it, but I feel more like this is my time to shine than I do actually feel scared. Mm-hmm. Like I might feel nervous, but I am like, this is what I've worked so hard for. Everything that I'm putting out there is like finally going to be seen. So I find that as like go mode. Like even when I'm competing in martial arts, I'm like, this is my time. This is now you're gonna see what I can do.
Yeah, I've only performed once, but I totally get what you're saying. I was very nervous, definitely overthinking it. But once I got up there, after like a second, I felt comfortable. I like got into it, you know? It just felt right.
Nice. That is awesome. Because you must have, it's because you probably, did you prepare for it?
Oh, more than any of the other artists in that showcase probably did. I was overthinking it. This was a Red Space event. A bunch of local artists, like a showcase basically, at this distillery here in Rockville, yeah, I definitely over prepared. I had like props that I ended up not using, like
What, squirt guns?
Yeah. Just squirt in the audience. Oh my god. No,
take that, Larry.
Yeah. Larry, wake up.
Yeah. I'm counting on you, Larry.
Wow, that's a pretty good idea. Bring a squirt gun, anyone who's not staring at me the whole entire time.
That or like a taser. Like that'll be the next step. Yeah,
I might get in legal trouble for that one, but
we'll have them all sign something right before coming in.
Sign a waiver.
Yeah. And then we'll give them a wafer just to kind of lighten the blow.
What?
Who doesn't like wafers?
Up. I'm done with you.
Please don't go. Not like everyone else.
Oh man, that's too real.
This is all I have. This is depending on me.
Yeah. Oh man.
Here, sign this paperwork. But so you said you had them sign a waiver?
No, not quite. Next time, I definitely won't forget that step. But
I did realize how important it is to have crowd control and like work on that part of the performance, because half of it is the actual performing, the singing. Then it really comes down to, can you get everyone to feel comfortable and interactive with what you got going on, because no one knows the songs. Well, not a lot of people do. So if it's your first time, you gotta kind of tell the audience what to do. Put your hands up. Let me see. You know, it comes down to creating that experience for them. And I think that it's really just kind of like incite a riot. You know, like tell people what to do. I think my thing just turned off.
One thing that that really helped me is I don't remember where I heard this. Probably read it online. I was looking up tips for your first performance, and basically one thing that a recurring theme is, if you really get into it, the audience will really get into it. So that's what I did. Like, I let loose and just let the emotion. I just like performed the hell out of these songs as much as I could, and the reception was pretty good. So yeah,
I think that's important, is people feel they mirror what other people are feeling. So if you're in a good mood, you're coming out there with the energy, with that right energy, like it's gonna be a good night, even if the music isn't good, because it's just like, that's what it's mostly about, is the energy. It's the ability to move people. And you can use that. You can do that with your words and your movement, your own movement. The fact that you're dancing to your own music. Put your hands up. Having your hand up. Like, command the audience. Move up. You know, like, get a little closer, guys. Come closer. You know, don't make it like this is like some awkward. Like, I don't know if I could tell you guys to do this. You know, like I shouldn't tell you. Can you please come closer, guys? Like, don't make, like, you really have to demand the stage, you know, hold everyone's hand. Like, you know, like you really do need to like tell the audience what to do. And if it's
slide to the left.
Yeah. Slide to the left.
Slide to the right.
Yeah.
Crisscross.
Yeah. Is that your first performance?
Yeah. I just did the cha-cha slide. That's all I did.
That actually explains why you were nervous.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to actually do what I tell them to.
Now, how does one cha-cha now, y'all?
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, actually, I forgot. What comes after left?
Really though.
Yeah. So that's great though. Like I think we all have those beginnings where that we have to figure out what to say, and we don't actually know what to say. So then we figure it out after the fact. We're like, oh, I should have told people to be like a little closer. There was like that big gap. So now that's what actually caused everyone to feel uncomfortable, is that I wasn't so inviting. You really have to invite people to feel relaxed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's like part of what your role is as an MC, and also performer. So, but as you get bigger and bigger venues, people are just gonna already be up in the front like that. But it's like a balance between knowing what you are capable of, persuading your audience to do, and not like overstepping, and it's like you just want to create this comfortable experience for the viewer or the person in the audience. So, yeah. Let me see. So I think that I'm trying to just see what other things, if we can touch on them or if we should close out. I guess just kind of wrap it back to kind of things that we're working on. Where could people find you, and what are you working on?
I'm currently working on an EP. I don't know if it'll turn out to be an EP. It may be a series of singles, or the whole thing will blow up and it will never be heard by anyone. We'll see.
Oh shoot!
But,
Really?
But either way, you can find me Chase7Music on Instagram. Snapchat is Chase-7, and 7 is spelled out always. That's it for now.
Are you having doubts about your EP or the music that you're making?
I'm having doubts about the legal issues surrounding it, but yeah, if I have to just leak it, then I'm gonna do that. Just send it to people. Like
allegedly, you're not going to.
No, I would never.
Yeah,
you got to edit that out.
Yeah, okay. We'll leave it in.
Oops.
Yeah. No, but you wouldn't actually do that, would you?
No, never. No.
Okay. All right. Well, Katniss will she'll know.
Okay, good.
So
Katniss can keep a secret.
She can, actually. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who ended up watching it this far. Yeah, I think we're going to call this the Producer Pod. And yeah, so if you guys want to check out the other episodes, I'm going to be linking it in the bio, and you can see that. And just subscribe, because that's a nice thing to do. You can get notifications that we actually do this pretty often. So I got a masterclass coming out pretty soon, and that's really exciting. Chase is going to be in it. We're making a bubble pop track, and we it's coming out pretty well. So we're in the midst of doing that, and yeah, so stay tuned. Catch you guys on the next one.
On the flip side.
On the flippity flip. Peace.
Good night.